some of the mistakes that you see in many entrepreneurs doing right now that they're not supposed to be doing? Maybe social media, the social work, or what are some of the mistakes that they're constantly making?
I think the first thing you need to ask yourself is your why. Why? Why do you think this business is going to be successful? Why are you doing it? Is it a passion? You have to learn to identify. Is it a passion project? Is it a feasible business and you can go and raise money? Like specifically for Blend, right? And I mean, I can talk an hour how it all came along, but it was a grassroots movement. We started recruiting college students from Colombia.
Hey guys, welcome back to CALVATION episode number 7. If you're new to this channel, subscribe on YouTube or on podcast, share it to your family and friends. Today we have a special guest, Cielo. Cielo. So introduce who you are and what do you do?
Hello, my name is Cielo. I'm the CEO and founder of Blend TW. We are a media and tech company that's just making school life, college, and smarter. I've been doing this for about 2 years now. I've been working in tech and media for about 10 years. Started my career at NBC News, transitioned to CNN. Yeah, and right now we are going through, a new chapter. We're raising money in order to build a tech app that is going to be very helpful for students.
Yeah. So also you're a storyteller, right? So
yes.
Tell us about that. How did you go through experience on those years that you had?
And you mean in the, I guess in my job at the NBC at
CNN? Yeah.
Just working in the media industry for me, and storytelling, it's been, I guess, blessed, because I've been able to enter people's lives and understand where they come from, and that is the main reason why I decided to pursue that industry.
Yeah.
And it's been great. I mean, I started my career at NBC News in a production role, right? Working for Today Show, which is a huge show, and then going from there to work at MSNBC and getting, I guess, more political because I was covering more like politics, and then transitioning to CNN. I think each of these experiences has made me aware of the importance of news, the news cycle, which is, I guess, understanding what's going on in your community, right? So yeah, it's been great.
So did you want to be an entrepreneur, or like while you were in college, is this something you wanted to be, or was it something else that you had in mind?
No, actually,
no?
I'm going to be honest. I never thought that I would start.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess when I was younger, right, I was very driven and I wanted to do different things, but I've always been very passionate about media, right? I always wanted to, I just like the fact that you can, right, through media, through storytelling, more than anything, you can dissect, if you could say so, someone's life and experiences, and understanding that and how it correlates to your life. It just always been very passionate about that. And I studied international relations. My concentration was Chinese, so love culture. So I think it was because I saw an opportunity, right? When I was working in media, it was amazing, but at the same time, it was draining sometimes. Media is not as glamorous as people think.
Also,
it's a lot of hard work.
Do you see a lot of competition along the way too, right? There's many entrepreneurs trying to do the same thing as other people, or they're just trying to make it out there, right?
I wouldn't say there's competition. Like, I think that you have to find something you're good at. Of course, there are markets that are super crowded, right? And I think the issue is that you just have to find what makes you, right? What is it about? Let's say if it's a publication, right? There's so many of them there, and it's so hard sometimes to monetize it and to make it into a business. You need to find your angle. You need to find your audience, and that takes time.
It takes time. So, did you graduate college or did you finish college?
Yeah, I graduated college in 2014. I did a double major, like I said, international relations, study abroad in China for a year, speak Mandarin. I actually thought I was going to end up working in foreign service. That's because I'm trilingual. But I always wanted to do the media thing, and then I had a great opportunity to come to New York and work for NBC News, and that's how I just started my career in this crazy journey.
So talk to us about NBC. How did you take it? Like when you first saw it, like how were you very emotional? Or how did it...
So let's just say I was probably the only person that didn't go to like a prestigious, like journalism or media program. A lot of people went to Columbia or like really, really well-known journalism or like media programs in the U.S. and I had a very complete different background, right? I speak Chinese, right? I study politics and economics. But honestly, if there's one piece of advice that I have to people, when you apply to jobs that are so like hard, right? Especially industries that are hard to get in, that's how you get in, right? It's like you really need to understand what is it about you, what skills you can provide to that specific job that you're trying to get, right? And that is going to make you different from every other applicant. Because if they have 200 applicants with the same degree in journalism, okay, what else, right? And at the end of the day, if you're working in the media industry, right, it's news, it's like knowing, understanding social issues. So I think, like, it's specifically me now that I'm in a different capacity. I work with thousands of students, right? Every time I'm going to get a new intern, that's what I see. I see for those skills, not just someone with a journalism degree. What can you bring to the table that is going to be,
advocate for yourself?
Exactly.
So, so what are some of the things that you learned now over the last year than you did this year? Like, what was something that you got that you knew, like, oh, I can do this now? Then, like, did you become, I guess, more wiser, more experienced from this?
Like from now, like before, like 5 years ago, or like just this year, what I've learned. I've learned a lot this year, let me tell you. Every year you're learning a lot.
Yeah, that's true. So what are some of the things that you learned that stick with you throughout the journey?
If you're not gonna give it, right, time, and you're not gonna give it, I think, hard work, you're not gonna be able to make it, right? I think we live in a culture that a lot of people just want things to happen tomorrow. I want to do this. I want to be a filmmaker, famous, or I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be a diplomat, whatever it is that you want to do in your life. You just have to understand that it's not going to happen overnight, right? And it's not only hard work, right? It's just understanding that it's a process, and you have to trust the process and the journey. I feel when I first started, I had a checklist. I was one of those people that I had a checklist, and I had to like hit all these things right on my list, because if I didn't, I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, that's true.
Life doesn't work that way, okay? When you are in college, yes, you can maybe check everything on your list and be very happy about it, but once you graduate, you realize that it's real life. Things happen, circumstances happen, and you have to learn to appreciate that, right? Because sometimes, at least for me, the things that I've learned along my journey that have made me who I am today, and I'm still super young, I'm 27, I think has been when I've actually struggled, right? And those are the things that really make you. It's like they either make you or they break you, right? And I think that those are the experiences. I wouldn't say failures. I don't like that word. There's not such a thing as failures, right?
You're learning.
It's just experiences, right? That you have to go through to get to the next step. And sometimes you don't know. It's a stepping stone for something else that maybe you didn't even see it, right? There's a whole world of possibilities that's opening for you, and you have to take it that way. But sometimes we tend to be negative because that's human beings, right? We all have a negative side. So I think it's just making sure that that you're aware of that.
Because also, like, when you're going through this journey, it's a lonely road too, you know? Like, you're trying to, like, convince your family to support you, convince your friends to support you. So what are some of the things that you told yourself, like, you know what, I got this, it's a lonely road, what am I going to do now? Well, how am I going to advocate myself and be a better version of myself?
I think your work, right, it speaks for yourself.
Because even myself, I go through moments where I'm like, you know what I'm like, this, I see no results, I see no changing. Like, it's still, like you said, it's a process after overlays and all that stuff.
I think that the first thing when I decided to quit CNN, and I remember calling my dad and saying, I'm quitting CNN. He was like, I come from an immigrant family, you know, it's like, that's like the dream job. And
I feel like
his parents love to say, my daughter works at CNN. I'm pretty sure he'd love to say that.
Because I feel like every immigrant have a high expectation for you, like even in college, the job role, they all have a high expectation.
They do.
And that puts so much pressure on the kids, you know?
I mean, I'm blessed my parents didn't put pressure, but I mean, I'm 27, right? And when you're Hispanic, I guess you're supposed to be married now and have kids, right? Right. It's like a thing. It's like you graduate and then you get a job and then you get a boyfriend and then eventually you get married and have kids.
Yeah.
And what I've realized is that that is what, I mean, if it works for you, great. But you have to find what makes you happy, right? You have to find what's your essence, what's your purpose in this life, right? For me, it's not what, I'm just going to go to a job 9 to 5 and then go home and then that's it, my life is over. No, I mean, I've seen it, you know, and it's a pattern. A lot of people, like, I invest a lot in the stock market too. I'm an options trader. I've done it for a couple of years. And I always believe that it's so important for you to really keep learning and remain curious about the things that are out there, you know, like, because a lot of people, when they think of you, oh, you are in tech and media, how is it that you were involved in the stock market? I'm like, no, you can be involved in many different things, you know, if you educate yourself.
So why did you choose to invest in the stock market? Someone told you about it?
Yes. I think the best investment that you could possibly make is coaching, right? And really, like, I think I was telling you this before, it's so important to get out of your comfort zone and meet people that are so different from you. I know sometimes it's very uncomfortable because you're like, oh my God, what am I doing here? But you're gonna learn so much from them, right? Because sometimes as human beings, we like things that are very safe, right? It's like you feel protected, you feel like I'm in my zone and with my people. But if you are not in a room where you're the person that knows the least, then you're not gonna learn, right? Because when you're challenged, that's when you learn. And I think for me, bumping to the stock market and, you know, getting into it at the beginning, I didn't know anything, having coaching, investing in my education, right? And I'm not talking about college education.
Oh no, college no.
And talking about investing in things that you can actually apply into, like real estate. I always say to young people, you want to make money? Stock market, real estate, that's what the real money is. And then maybe you can use that resources to pursue whatever it is that you want to pursue, right? But you got to get creative for how you make money. And it's so easy to say, I cannot do this because I don't have money, or there's so many excuses.
Many excuses.
Right?
The thing I don't like is I don't have time, quote unquote.
I don't have time, I don't have time. I don't have, you know, I don't have the money. Right? Well, make it possible. Get creative of how there's so many ways to make money this way. But it's not going to happen if you just sit there and complain about it. So I think it's like actions speak louder than words, period.
So what's a good day for you? What are some of the routines that you do that make you have to have a good day? Like maybe you wake up, go to workout, have some good breakfast, you know, or hang out with other people. You know, what's a good routine for you that keep yourself like very active and the best version of yourself?
So, I think it's important for me to say this. Just because you're an entrepreneur, you're successful. That doesn't mean you have bad days. I've struggled with anxiety. That's one of the things that I developed by being an entrepreneur. Sometimes you pressure yourself to do so many things and you're only human. What has really helped me, it's meditation. It's transformed my life, right? I follow the 5 a.m. Routine. I don't know if you ever read that book. But my amazing friend, Rob Sharma, he's great. And I think just being able to wake up so early, right? And then being able to have time for myself, because that's what we forget.
Because normally we wake up and we check our phone and we forget to check ourselves, you know? And then like the rest of the day we're just like so like, you know, we're like shaking or we just need something. Like I feel like we need 10 minutes or like 15 minutes to just check on himself.
And not only that, it's like I think the biggest lesson I've learned through one of my mentors, I have a lot of mentors, is that like a lot of people say it's like when you go to war, right? I think about soldiers, right? The battle is not won like actually in the field. It's one in the preparation. If you prepare yourself every day, right, before you go to the battlefield, you're gonna win. So having that hour for yourself to nurture as a person or as a human being will prepare you for your whole day and the way you react to things and the way you do things. So once I learned that, and it was so hard because I was not a 5 a.m. person, like it took me
because I don't think anyone's even awake at 5 in the morning. People are just still sleeping, you know.
Well, you gotta go to bed early, right? And that's the hard thing because we're all attentive. We gotta go to parties. We wanna meet friends. We wanna go for like, and I get it. I mean, I think it's all about having a balance in your life, but I feel that if you really want to see a transformation in your life, you need to make time for yourself. And when that's gonna happen? It's the moment you wake up, you're on your phone, or someone's texting you, or someone's calling you. Like for me, I manage a Slack team. I have 55 people on my team. So when I wake up, I don't even want to look at that, right, on my phone.
Because that leads to pressure too, right?
And all the notifications, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I don't wake up that early and have a routine, meditation, 20 minutes of like either writing, I like love working out, it just gives me endorphins, like I think I will go crazy, right? And it's a pattern. If you ask any CEO, right, if we're talking about from CEO at Amazon or Roku, anyone, like there's a pattern there. Even Oprah, they will tell you they wake up early and they really have time for themselves before they start their day.
So like you said, wake up at 5 in the morning. What do you do after you drink? You meditate, right?
So I follow the 20-20-24 rule. I don't know if you've ever heard about it. So 20 minutes is working out, right? It can be, I mean, sometimes I do it 1 hour because I
tend to have a routine. Do you exercise or what do you do?
I have a gym in I live in Financial District, so my building has a gym on the 6th floor, so I can just go down, go to the gym, and then go back to my apartment. So I usually work out for 20 minutes, and then after 20 minutes you meditate. And then after 20 minutes, I use it for blogging or sometimes like writing.
Do you write journal for yourself? Or?
Yeah. So you have to find a way to, if you ever think about it, how many thoughts we have per day?
A lot, millions.
You're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that, but you never get to anything done, and you don't even know what you're thinking. So it's like the only time that you can really focus and say, okay, this is what I'm thinking, this is how I'm feeling. Because sometimes when we suffer from anxiety or we're going through a bad day, we tend to ignore those things, right? It's like, oh, I'm just gonna go like play my game, and that's the way you ignore the problem. Or I'm gonna watch videos. Yeah,
because also what I do is like I used to have anxiety too, so what I would do is just watch Netflix or just go on my phone, like just to get away from my escape, you know,
because you don't want to deal with it. The emotion is so hard. It's like it hurts, you know, like you don't want to deal with it. You're like, I'll deal with that later when I have to deal with it.
Or go with your friends or something, you know,
But and it's temptation, right? It's like, how do you overcome that's hard?
So did you lose friends along the way when you were in this journey? Because I know, like, I lost friends. Even the people didn't support me. Some family members didn't support me. So did you lose any friends along the way? Or people didn't believe in you? Or how did you like deal with the? You know,
I guess I have the personality that I generally care what my parents have to say, and everything else it's like external. It's like you filter all that noise, and you know, whatever, like if it's good feedback you take it, and if it's bad, there's always gonna be someone out there that's not gonna like you, okay? And thank God I was one of those kids that in college I wasn't, you know, like, oh my God, I want everyone to like me. No. I wasn't, you know, I was like, I'm going to do my own thing, you know, and have the friends that and I actually, the 4 friends that I have that are super close right now, they were all from college. Because we're all the same, and we still talk to each other, not every day. My friend just finished her PhD at Princeton. I went to her dissertation. It was just amazing. She got to present all her work. We're there on right? I think on the highlights, right? When there's a big event, we're always there, but we also have busy lives, right? I think no, because it's all about the people that you attract, right?
Oh, okay.
Along the way, you're gonna find friends that are going to be, you know, something of the moment, and then you're gonna find friends that are really gonna be there to benefit. Because the word friendship for me, it's like, I think it's used like repeatedly, right? And what does it mean? Like for me, a friend is someone that damn is there through thin and thick, and I can count with fingers how many friends I have. Especially, I feel that I don't know if it's New York, it just makes it harder, right? To actually like have a normal conversation with people.
Because there's a lot of people from different backgrounds, two different cultures around here.
I mean, and I think it's just important to. You're gonna lose, you're gonna gain friends, right? But the ones that are gonna remain your friends are the people that are going to uplift you. The moment you have people that are, right, in your life that they're very toxic, then you know you need to let them go, right? Because what happens is that people instill their fears in you. That's what they do. When you tell them you want to do something, they're like, "You're never gonna be able to do that. You're never gonna be able." What they're doing is that they have their own fears.
They're putting you down along the way.
And they're instilling your fears, right? Because maybe they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So you have to learn. And if you don't go for what you want, you don't live. Period.
Yeah, so were your parents very supportive when you were trying to do this, or like?
My parents are so supportive. Like anything I do, I think it has a lot to do because I've always been a person of like, I have a lot of discipline, and I've always been very mature. Never like did crazy things. You know, I was like excelling in school. Like so they never. There's like whatever you do, we support you 100%. That doesn't mean it has not been an easy journey. A lot of the times they were like, "Are you sure this is gonna work? Maybe you should try to get a full-time job and then do this on the side." And then while you try. Of course, they have worries. They just want me to be happy. There was a period of time that I was super stressed out. Like I said, when I first started the startup, I was like, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" I didn't know how to navigate that. I got a lot of anxiety for everything. So you just gotta learn, right?
Because there are some people that they have parents that they don't support them. Go to school, do this, do that, and they don't have the opportunity, to guide them, be supportive,
right. But you can get support from other people.
From anyone,
I always say it's like, if your parents disagree with you, you respect that, but they already lived their lives. You gotta live your own life. If not, you're not gonna be happy. I think that's the most important thing that I have to say. I come from a culture where respect for parents is so important, but at the same time, they already lived. They made their decisions, their choices. You gotta make your own choices. And if you make mistakes and if you fall, hey, it's okay. Life is not over. You're gonna be just fine, okay? And I think sometimes parents, especially after Hispanic parents, just want to protect you. They don't want you to go through that. They just want you to play it safe, right? But it's a mentality. I feel sometimes we are brainwashed, right? It's like we have to do this, and this is the only way that things get done. But you can prove them wrong. I mean, the people that are most successful in this world, these are people that walk on the left, right? And there's a book I read, it's like people who walk on the right, 90% of the people walk on the right, and then 10% walk on the left. The people that walk on the left, they're people that have come a long way. These are people that don't believe and don't buy in what society is telling you. Oh, you cannot do that. Oh, you cannot do this, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of them are CEOs of companies. I mean, Jeff Bezos is a good example of a man that always lived on the left. He created Amazon from his garage.
Scratch,
so you know what I mean? It's like, these are not people that...
If you really love it, you'll do whatever it takes. Whatever, it doesn't matter your passion.
For sure.
So I know you have meetings, you have all these businesses going on. So I know, I'm pretty sure you're stressed out sometimes. So do you ever take days off where you're like, I'm gonna just watch Netflix the whole day, I'm gonna go to the park, I'm gonna hang out with my friends? Or how do you put yourself to like take a break so you can be more creative when you come back?
Yeah, for sure. Like I have the thing, it's like every 3 months I need to go on a trip, right? Like I was just like with my parents, let's go to Paris, like let's do something. So I need time off. I can't just be all day long, because the one thing, I think you asked me this before, I'm not gonna lie, the higher you go, it does feel lonely, because when you're in a position of power, right? You cannot treat people that you work as friends, because it's a business. You can't, even though you're like the nicest person in the world, at the end of the day, it's a business, right? So I feel sometimes like you feel lonely and like, where do I turn, right? When I need to make a decision, what do I do? But I think what you have to remember, that's when having friends and family, right? They're always gonna, you come back to them, right? Then it's gonna keep you grounded, right? And for me, it's just taking time off and being with my friends, right? Calling my parents are my best friends, right? And just taking a time for myself, like I said. And it all starts with that. If you're not good here, like it doesn't matter what you do, you're just not gonna be able to do anything, right? And I feel we live in a culture that anxiety, depression probably affects 99% of us, okay? In different capacities, different levels, but we all struggle with it. So I think just being honest about it when you're struggling, being vocal and say, I'm not doing okay, and taking, like, I think, action, right? Not just going through, say, oh, I'm gonna go and get medicated. No, change your habits, right? It start that way.
Changing your habits little by little, and then see results coming in too.
Right, I thought a TED Talk a couple days ago, and it really like clicked with me, because it was like, think about it, right? When you give junk food to your stomach, right? Like you have like fried chicken, all these things, right? there's a moment you're like, if you keep feeding just pizza and like
junk food,
McDonald's, right, you feel sick, right?
You get fat, overwhelmed.
It's the same thing with your brain, right?
Yeah.
If you keep pushing, working hard, and you don't give yourself some time off to think, you don't meditate, you don't exercise, of course you're gonna feel depressed and anxious.
And you're gonna burn out too.
And you're gonna burn out, which that's what happened to me when I was working in media. I burned out. Yeah.
Hey, how did you take it when you burned out? Was it like wow, too hard? Were you working too hard?
Well, I think it was just more about I was trying to do too many things at the same time.
Okay.
My company had just like started my startup. Like it was like in the idea stage, but I was working hard on it, and then I was trying to do everything. You know, like having a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's because I was working media, traveling a lot. You don't get to sleep a lot. And here I was, right, 24 saying, oh, I can sleep 3 hours and I can live the YOLO life, right?
Yeah.
YOLO. Everyone loves that.
You do your own thing and all that stuff.
But you know what? The YOLO life, it's great, but you gotta sleep. You gotta protect your body because it will come hunt you when you're like older.
Yeah, like even now, one of the things I struggle is like I have to do this. If not, I feel like I'm behind, one step behind my goal, and I feel like many people that are working for something, they have to just take a break, because if not, they're gonna be tired after a while. I even struggle with being tired too much.
Yeah.
I work and I do this, Yeah,
because we're living in a culture that we think that the more we do, the more
we do.
and it's completely wrong.
Yeah. So what do you do when you just take a day off? What do you typically do? You go up on walks, go take a break, go on vacation? Day off,
like on Sunday, I actually took a mental day off. I am a nerd, so I was watching a lot of documentaries.
Yeah.
So, like very few people know this. So of course, Blend, it's an amazing opportunity. We've been able to give a voice to so many college students, so you guys, from issues ranging from mental health to LGBT. Like we just actually wrap up a conference in St. John's University. It was a big conference. It was about My Voice's Story Talk. So we invited a panel of just amazing people that are doing great work on the mental health community, and then students to talk about the mental health issues. So for us, it's just so important to keep expanding. And I guess the reason why we decided to create this movement was because we love storytelling and giving a platform to young people to talk about their issues. But I think for me, eventually, I really want to get into film, produce and direct films. That's what ultimately I want to do. Yeah. So everything is, like I said, baby steps, right? It's like you can't want to do that if you're not even here. So I think it's important to kind of have a guideline of what you want to do.
I feel like we have to test many things, take risks, because if not, what are we going to do? Like, what are we actually good at? What do we like?
You just have to, you can accomplish anything you want to, but you just have to know that rejection is part of the game, right?
Yeah, failure makes you stronger,
If anything, I always, someone once told me this, and it's perfect, I practice every day.
Yeah.
Every day, ask yourself, how have I failed today?
Many times.
Right? Just think one thing, right? And be happy about it, because that thing that you failed, you're not going to do it again tomorrow, right? It's like you're learning.
Every day,
Yeah. That means you're not playing it safe. That means that you're actually failing. You're actually trying something new.
You're challenging yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. But we don't like that, right? We don't like when we fail. It's like, no, I don't want to, I don't want people to know that I failed.
Are you addicted to losing now? Like, do you want to try new things? Like, I don't care if I lose or win. I want to do it.
Like about what?
Like trying new things, fulfilling,
You mean if I'm competitive?
Yeah, very competitive.
I mean, I'm competitive with myself. Let me just put it there. I think one thing that I've learned along the way is like real successful women, and especially men too, don't, like try to get something by putting other women down, right? If anything, you uplift them, right? You try to find ways that you can help them, right? Better themselves and you, because when everyone support each other, I think everyone wins, right? And I feel it's like that's important to me. So I'm not competitive with other women. I'm competitive with myself. I think every day I strive to be a better version of who I am, who I was yesterday, 1 year ago. Because I'm not perfect. We'll make mistakes. Just like.
So what are some of the mistakes that you see many entrepreneurs doing right now that they're not supposed to be doing? Maybe social media, the social work, or what are some of the mistakes that they're constantly making?
I think the first thing you need to ask yourself is your why. Why do you think this business is going to be successful? Yeah. Why are you doing? Is it a passion? You have to learn to identify. Is it a passion project? Is it a feasible business that you can go and raise money? Like specifically for Blend, right? And I mean, I can talk an hour at how it came along, but it was a grassroots movement. We started recruiting college students from Colombia and different schools, and we saw like every Thursday we'll have a forum, talk about things from Muslims in America, politics, and we saw that there was this safe space for people to talk about their issues.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we decided to launch the publication. It started growing, right? But still, my brain was like, I'm not gonna go and raise money for a company, because once you raise money and you get $1 from a person that your company is no longer yours, okay? You have to work with them, and when someone invests in your company, it's because they want money, okay? People need to know that. So I think biggest advice for entrepreneurs is understanding your why, and also how feasible it is. What do you want to do with it? Is it, like I said, a passion project, a small business that you maybe want to have in the side? If you want to make an actual brand, right? Then you need to understand that in order for people to put money in your brand, you need to make it sustainable. You need to have a really good, liable business model. And people sometimes completely disregard that. They're like, oh, I just want to do this because I have to do it. But what is your audience? Like, who's your audience? Like, what is is it a B2B, B2C? So for me, biggest thing that I think if I would go back, I wouldn't do anything different, but definitely I feel it's just educate yourself what it takes to build a business, right? What does a BC, hedge manager still gain into investment, right? It's like you gotta understand the foundation. Passion is not enough. That's what I understood very early on, okay? Because I was always all about passion, and then when I started doing, and I'm like, where is this taking me? I understood the passion is great, okay? But you also have to understand what are the logistics, where is it going, and kind of understand, right? Like the roadmap.
So who inspired you? Why did you choose it? Who inspired you? Who motivated to be who you are? Like anyone in life?
Who inspires me to be? I've just been inspired for so many people. It's like I think what makes me, I guess me. I love to understand how experiences shape people, and like how for example people have been through so much in order to achieve things or to be who they are, right? It's like, so I've been motivated from writers to actors to filmmakers to CEOs. It's not just one person that's like, oh my God, this is the one person that's motivated my whole life. No, even like the story of my parents, right? I think I am motivated by anything, right? It's like I can be walking and I see someone and maybe get motivation from that. Like, so it's not a very specific thing. I think anything that has purpose, I see passion, I see drive, and this fervent desire to better yourself, for me is always, wow. It's incredible. It gives me more energy.
So how do you invest in yourself in doing that? Like, do you educate yourself? You go to events, business events, or how do you take that?
It's not even about business event. It's about creating a network. And I think that's the hardest thing about entrepreneurs. You gotta create your network. How do you do that? You put yourself out there. I'm not talking about business conferences. Invest in coaching, right? You want to get into stock market. There's so many real estate experts. There's so many ways that you can learn. You want to be an entrepreneur, go to all the different events that are for free in the city. That's how I did it. You start meeting people, and those people, you meet other people, right? And then without you knowing, right, it's like you meet amazing people that are willing to give you good advice, that have been there, right? And then want to take you under your wing and learn, right? It's like the opportunities are out there. Right? But you have to make the effort. And it's not going to take one day. Let's just be clear about that. Okay? A lot of people, every time someone tells me, I'm raising money, you have to understand that raising money for a company, it's the result of a lot of years, okay, of networking and activating your network. I love that word. I always say, when you want to start a business, right? The best thing you can do is activate your network. You know a lot of people already. What are your school? And tell them, hey, if there's something specific that you need, I need someone, blah, 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 blah. But just activate your own network, right? And work your research and really work along the way. Some people think, and I actually I learned this from Randy. Randy Zuckerberg, of course, she's so, she not only she was a director of marketing at Facebook, right? She's Zuckerberg, of course, she's made millions of dollars, but she also has a company, she has a podcast, she has a radio show, and I was like, how do you manage all, right? And I think the biggest advice she gave me is like, once you look back, the people that is going to make a difference in your business that are going to help you are not going to be people that are like Bill Gates, right? Because she was giving an example. I went to Bill Gates because I wanted some advice. It was like, oh my God, I want him to be my mentor. No, there are people in your network. They're going to help you and you're going to learn from them and they're going to learn from you, right? That are closer than you think. Sometimes you think that you need to have, oh my God, these insane mentors, right? That they're super, super famous in order for you to make it. And that's not true. You can still make it. You can still do the things that you want to do, but you gotta like just be able, like, you know, like you guys, right?
Yeah.
Like have a network of people that are very passionate about that. Yeah. Right.
So what are 3 tips to like you said, net worth is worth your network or something like that? You said.
Yeah, network it will equal your net worth for sure.
Yeah. So what are 3 tips for a young entrepreneur to like tell them what to do specifically? To maybe go out there, like you said, or
first one, be patient, right? Like you gotta be very patient.
Because especially for me, you're coming from a scratch, like you don't know anyone, you know nobody. Like, how do you know, put yourself out there?
I guess.
You said be patient, right?
Definitely, I would say, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Why do you have to lose, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It's like I feel sometimes when you don't know anyone and you're like, I don't want to ask this person because I'm embarrassed. I don't know if it doesn't. What happens if she says no?
Yeah.
What's the worst gonna happen? That person's gonna say no, and then you move on, right?
Believe it or not, I literally messaged a good 1,000 people, and only 5 of them said yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what it takes. I mean, if you really love it, you'll do whatever it takes.
Exactly. Like you gotta keep doing it. You cannot take no
for an
as an answer.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, it's the feel. The person say no.
Feel.
Okay, go. And find a way, right? I always say, there's not, and I really want to tell young people, there's not set way of doing things. Okay. You will sometimes look up to other people that, oh my God, I went to have an MBA at Harvard and this is how they made it and then they created a business.
Yeah.
No, we live in a world nowadays that you can make things happen for yourself. Okay? And there's no set way, right? Don't compare yourself. Like, of course, when you have mentors, right? Like, look at them, it's like, wow, you know, what they made, their legacy, and I guess, like, learn from their victories and triumphs, but you have your own journey, okay? And you are your own person. Yeah. And what's gonna happen to you is gonna be very different. The way you get there is gonna be very different, okay? Yeah. And sometimes you might be writing a completely different story, right? Because maybe you're the only person that's trying to do this specific field. Like, I'll give you an example. There are very few Hispanic women in the tech industry.
Yeah, that's true. There's very few.
Like 0 that are like raising VC money, like millions of dollars, which is why, regardless of what through Blend or anything, at some point in my life, I want to invest in talent. Right? It's so hard when I've seen and raised money. It's you're in a room full of white dudes, right? Because those are the ones, you know, and then you feel like you're a little ugly duck because you're like, oh my God, I'm like, you're a woman. I mean, raising money as a woman is hard enough, but then if you're like a minority, it's just unheard of, right? You don't see very powerful women, like especially in the Hispanic community, doing great things. So I want to change that. Hispanic women don't need to be in television or pretty. We're smart, we're capable, we can be, right, and do so many different things. So I think investing in that, right, it's so important, right?
Do you see a struggle with that, female entrepreneurs?
Oh yeah, of course.
What are some of the struggles?
Especially minorities. It's so hard. Like it's rare. Like you see a lot of maybe consumer products, but in tech, it's really rare. Which is why, to me, I think this is something I've learned. It's like I want to invest in women. I want to invest in women that are, you know, doing a great things using artificial intelligence that are going to change the future, right? Those are the women that we should celebrate. Those are the women that we should be talking about, not I don't want to name, but there's so many people that get so much press for like zero reason. I'm like, how am I learning something from this? Why do you give it so much platform? But that's what sells. I mean, you know, media is a business at the end of the day.
So what goes through your mind when you're like in the meeting full of, you know, what do like you said? What's going through your mind? Are you feeling pressure or like? Or
no, I just don't care. I mean, I think before when I was younger, I would get intimidated. I am a very intimidating person anyway, so I guess that helps. No, I just know who I am, you know, and I feel that I'm just at the point in my life that I'm just like no BS, right? It's like I know what I'm worth, and it's not going to change, right? If anything, I'm proud. You got to be proud of where you come from. You never forget that, okay? Be very proud of who you are as a person, because at the end of the day, you know what? It doesn't really matter, right? And yes, there's so many barriers out there, right? But you have to think of it as a window, right? It's like, okay, it's there, but you don't really see it, right? So if you have with that mentality, because sometimes like if you, before you even go to a meeting or before you ever do something, you already have 10 reasons why you should not do it. You're never gonna do anything, right? It's like, so you just have to go with that mentality to a room and just know that you're worth, and if you're gonna know, whatever, happen. Okay, move on, next, okay? And be very practical, so.
Have there ever been a moment where you're like you failed and then you took a break from social media or your job, you know what? Just like
I try not to post a lot in social media, like in a personal note. Yeah. Because I think social media, oh my God, and I can talk for hours about this. How it really, I think it just creates like this fake persona that it's not you. It's like all the great highlights, right? And of a person. I always say this to young people because this was one of the issues that we're talking about. The panel was talking about the effect of social media. And I have to say, you have to think of social media as a blog, right? It's like whatever you want to blog, whatever you like, you put it there. You put a picture with like a description, whatever. I mean, in terms of blend, for example, or your brand, you could use it as a marketing tool, right? But you have to understand that it's not real. It's just a blog. Is just like the things that you want to share, right? And they might be only the good things, right? Of the things that you're proud of, right? Whatever it is. But you have to understand that it's not the whole picture. That's what I always tell people. As long as you understand that, right? If for some people are businesses, because some people make a lot of money of Instagram, okay? For some people it's right? It's like a blog. If they travel, they want to put all the things they travel. If they like all the foods, there's a lot of people that like to share their food, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, bless your heart, great, share it. But you just understand that it's an instrument. People use it, but it's not the whole picture. It doesn't say anything about your life. It doesn't mean you have a better life than anyone else. Okay? They want to make it seem like that. A lot, and unfortunately, like I know that because I'm 27, right? And even then, sometimes I fall into the pit that I'm looking at social media and I'm like, oh my God, you know, what am I doing? You know, I should be doing that, right? It's like you get the FOMO, right? A fear of missing out. It's like, oh, I should be at the concert, but I'm working. I should be doing that. So I always say limit your use. Like I actually, like I have a rule, right? For like blend purposes, max half an hour. I mean, there's 7 people managing the account, so I don't really have to manage it, so I don't have to worry about that. For my personal use, 1 hour social media. If I'm watching a film, 2 hours max. Because Netflix can be very addicting too. Okay? You can spend there like 10 hours. If you're having a bad day, you're like,
watching your favorite show.
And so I think it's like, and it's hard. You really, but it's a habit. You have to develop those habits. So that's important.
To finish this off, I'll ask you a few questions. Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Pancakes?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
What?
No, I'm more of a waffle guy.
Oh, okay.
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
Oh man, that's hard.
One superpower,
Maybe teletransportation?
The traffic, you know.
And then I can go to Egypt and every country. Take me to Egypt now.
Go right there. Also, what are some information or advice to all the entrepreneurs that want to be there? What are some of the lessons you want to give it to them?
What lessons?
Or advice, you know, to the entrepreneurs out there.
like I said, be patient. It doesn't take one day. Surround yourself with people that are going to uplift you. Stay away from toxic people because there's so many of them out there. And just be yourself. That's what I have to say. There's so many times, there's a saying, don't fake it until you make it. I don't like that. I actually don't like that.
A lot of people do that. They flex their own thing and all that.
You gotta be yourself, okay? People are either gonna like you or gonna hate you. It doesn't matter. Just be you. Be authentic. Life is too short to pretend to be something that you're not, right? And I think just be happy of the things. Well, I believe in God, and I think a lot of the things that I do in my faith was around that. So I don't put value into, oh, you're rich or you're poor. What does that even mean? It depends on what you see. Money is important in life, but it doesn't make you happy, okay? It's not going to buy you happiness. And I think the moment you understand that, the way you relate, I think passion, right? It's very important. Like, you have to find what makes you happy in life. You have to find the one thing that makes you want to go to work every day, right? And then you have to get creative. How can you make money and monetize that around? Because you do need to make a living, right? You can also live in passion and, oh, I'm just going to live my passion part. No, because then you're probably going to be really broke. So you have to, I would say it's like, there's so many resources, okay? Be resourceful. Like overcome your fears, right? And I think just be disruptive. Oh my God, that's a big advice. There's so many things you can create these days, and that just be disruptive. Don't be part of the status quo. It's pretty boring, you know?
That's true.
So don't do that. Yes.
No. Thank you for having me on the show. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys.
Thank you. Bye.